Hey, everyone else is making a ranking of DCE movies. I might as well do the same. Hey everyone, welcome to the ranking, and here's my ranking of all the DCEU movies. Yes, the DC Cinematic Universe. Yes, we've come a long way. We started off awful, and now we're getting to pretty damn awesome. Yes, the DCEU. There are five and counting, DCEU films, and to celebrate Justice League that just came out this weekend, and yeah, after seeing it a second time in theaters, I wanted to do a ranking of all the DCEU films because, honestly, well, that's what everyone else is doing, and yeah, I've done a ranking of the Marvel films and stuff. I've done my top 10 favorite DC movies of all time, and you know what? I thought I'd just like to talk about all these DCEU films because, again, they need to be talked about. There are some really fucking awful films in this universe, but they're slowly getting better, and I have a lot of hope for DC because I am a huge DC fan. Even though everyone thinks I suck Marvel's dick, which I kind of do, I prefer DC. I love the DC shows. I love the comic books more. I'm the biggest Batman fan out there. I want the DCEU to succeed, and hopefully they will, because they're a step in the right direction right now. Let's hope they keep it up. But yeah, I digress. Let's get to the films. There's 5 films, and I want to rank all of them from my least favorite to my favorite. So let's get to it. Coming at number 5 is Man of Steel. Man of Steel, everyone knows that this is my least favorite. Everyone knows that I can't stand this film. I've had so many hate comments, especially when I did my ranking of the Superman films, and I said Superman Returns was even better than Man of Steel. Everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you fucking on drugs, you stupid fucking idiot? Yeah, I got a lot of hate comments. I deleted them all because they're unnecessarily mean. But anyways, Man of Steel. I don't hate Man of Steel. People think I fucking hate it. I don't. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I don't hate it. I don't put it in the category of Batman Forever or Batman and Robin or Superman 4 or Quest for Peace or Superman 3 and shit. It's not that bad. It completely missed the point of what Superman is. It has no heart. It has no color. Like, Superman's very colorful. He's a Boy Scout. He's happy. He's enjoyable. He loves what he's doing. I feel like Henry Cavill needs to take some, happy pills because he's so depressed in all of these films. Except for Justice League, but I'll get to that. But in Man of Steel, he's just so dull. He's just so bland. He just looks so sad and depressed. Even the score, there's some pretty good score by Hans Zimmer, but some of it's so depressing and bleak and dark. And I'm all about the dark and depressing if it's like Batman or someone who deserves a dark and depressing story. If you know Superman comics, he's not a dark and depressing guy. His story isn't dark and depressing. I know they were trying to do something different because they didn't want to copy Christopher Reeve, because Christopher Reeve is the true Superman, but Henry Cavill could have given us a better Superman, but I'm not going to shift the blame to him because it is Zack Snyder. He did direct it. He's directing Henry Cavill to act like that, so it mostly goes to Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, he has a cool visual style, but I don't like the style of Man of Steel. Even Krypton. Krypton looks more like Pandora or something from Avatar more than actual Krypton. Krypton's an ice planet, not this jungle thing that he's got created with the orange and stuff. Krypton's more blue and white and stuff, not orange and black and gray. I don't like the color saturation he used with Krypton. Michael Shannon, I did not like as General Zod, but I did like Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe was awesome as Jor-El. There was also so many gripes I have with this film, like Superman, like he kills Zod, which was so stupid, and why are those people not moving out of the way? That scene with the heat vision and General Zod's about to hit the people, why aren't those people moving out of the way? Or why isn't Superman flying General Zod out there or something? Put his hand in front of his eyes. There were so many ways he could have got out of that situation, but no, he had to snap his neck. So fucking stupid. And he destroys all of Metropolis. Our hero destroys the city he always wants to protect. Our hero, everyone, fucking Superman. There's just so many problems I have with it. Amy Adams as Lois Lane. She has no chemistry with Henry Cavill. I liked Diane Lane as Martha Kent. She was really great. She was a very loving, very passionate, very compelling mother, and I really liked Diane Lane. I did not like Kevin Costner. He was so wooden, so dry, and he teaches Clark Kent the bad, horrible lessons like, oh yeah, maybe you should let those kids die on the bus because we don't want the government to find out who you are and stuff. Like, that is a horrible lesson to teach your kid. Yes, let those children drown in the ocean. Like, our Father Kent, everyone. And I don't like that they killed him in a tornado. He dies of a heart attack. That's what makes it so sad, because Superman cannot save Jonathan from a heart attack, because that is an illness. He can save him from a tornado. He has super speed. He can fly, but Jonathan's like, no, let me die in the tornado. So stupid. So dumb. And yeah, again, I get the action. The action's cool and stuff. It's like Dragon Ball Z action and stuff, but I don't care about that. Sure, it's cool, it's entertaining to watch. The scenes with the fight scenes and the punching, the kicking, and the boo, the lasers is cool and all, but I want a compelling story. I want a riveting story. I want a good characters. And I didn't get that from this movie. And it tries to do the Batman Begins and it tries to, go all over the place with the story and the backstory. It's like non-linear storytelling and stuff. It like goes to when he's a teenager, then it goes to when he's a kid and stuff. But the reason I didn't like it for this movie, because Batman Begins did it in a proper order. This movie just goes all over the place, and it comes off so jumbled and convoluted. It goes all over the place, and it doesn't make a lick of sense. There's also a lot of product placement in this movie, which is insane. And yeah, the positives I have with this movie is the action. The action is really cool. I like Diane Lane. I like Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White. I love Russell Crowe as Jor-El. There is some decent visuals at times, but all in all, I think it completely missed the mark of what Superman was. And yeah, I'm not a fan of Man of Steel. I don't hate it, I just don't like it. It's definitely the worst DCEU film. Coming number 4 is Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, yes, I know everyone's thinking, wait a minute, didn't you give this a positive review last year? You liked it more than Batman v Superman. What are you talking about? Like I said, even when I said my Justice League review, Suicide Squad gets worse and worse the more times I watch it. The first time I watched Suicide Squad, I liked it. It was a really fun movie. It was really enjoyable and stuff. That's why I gave it a positive review. But the more and more times I watch Suicide Squad, the less enjoyable it gets. See, Batman v Superman is the same every time I watch. I've seen Batman v Superman 5 times now, and it is the same. It's the same kind of quality film. It doesn't get better or worse. Suicide Squad gets gradually worse the more times I've seen it. I've seen it in total 3 times now, and it's gotten worse more and more times I've watched this film. The quality lowers, the flaws show even more, and the entertainment value just dwindles more and more. The only positives I can give this movie is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and Will Smith as Deadshot. That is the only thing I can say that this movie has going for it. And those are really good positives. They're bigger positives than Man of Steel. And the biggest thing also about this movie over the Man of Steel's 2.5 hours. This is like an hour and 45 minutes. So it is a much more, fast-paced movie and stuff. It gets into it more and stuff, and then it's over and everything. Also, actually, Viola Davis. Viola Davis was a really good Amanda Waller. She was also really good. There's also some pretty cool action scenes, even though there's a lot of dark scenes and they're filmed really dark and you can't see what's happening. There is some pretty cool kick-ass action, and there are moments that got some chuckles out of me. There are some pretty funny scenes in this movie. So those are my positives. My negatives is the visuals aren't all that. The visuals aren't amazing. The makeup isn't amazing. The makeup on Killer Croc is cool, but winning the Academy Award for Best Makeup over Star Trek Beyond is beyond stupid. Also, the villain is horrible. Enchantress, played by Cara Delevingne, an actress everyone knows I can't stand, was just an awful villain. And her brother, the CGI brother, I don't think anyone knows his name. He's just a big CGI guy. Ugh, so stupid. It was so dumb. And it's another portal in the sky and stuff. Like, they've done that a bajillion times. I didn't like the cinematography either. I didn't like the Suicide Squad. I liked Deadshot. I liked Harley Quinn. But the rest of them were the most generic and forgettable people, like Rick Flag, Katana, Killer Croc, Diablo. They're all just such boring characters, one-dimensional characters. They all talk like they're G'd out, like, yo, man, we gotta take these bad guys out, yo, what's up, man? I'm beautiful, yo. I'm like, what the hell? What the fuck is happening? And David Ayer's direction was so clunky and sloppy and stuff. And again, there is some entertaining moments. There are some funny moments. There are good performances by like Will Smith, Margot Robbie, and Viola Davis. But all in all, the movie, it's an entertaining mess the first time you watch it. But the more and more times you watch it, the less and less interesting it gets. And then there's Jared Leto's Joker, which I didn't have the biggest issue with like most people did. It's definitely not the greatest Joker, but he's barely in the goddamn film, so who really gives a shit because they cut him out of the whole fucking movie. But yeah, this movie, it's not awful. It's definitely more watchable than Man of Steel, but again, it starts off entertaining when you watch it the first time. But trust me, when you watch it more and more times, it gets less and less interesting and less entertaining. And yeah, it's definitely the weaker DCEU film. Coming number 3 is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Martha, why did you say that name? I'll get that right off the bat. No pun intending. That's a stupid scene. That is probably the dumbest thing I have ever seen in the DCEU. That fucking Martha scene. Why would Batman not kill Superman just because his mom is also named Martha? Dumbest thing ever. So fucking stupid. Anyways, it's not bad, this movie. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I don't hate it like most people do. Again, I gave it a 6.7 out of 10, and I completely stand by that rating. The director's cut maybe puts it to a 7, but yeah. The best thing about Batman v Superman is the more times I watch it, it does not dwindle in quality like Man of Steel or Suicide Squad does. The more times I watch those movies, the more times I get sick of them and I just want them to go away. But Batman v Superman, every time I watch it, it's just the same. It's just an okay movie. That's all it is. It's okay. It's got a lot of horrible stuff, but it's got some good stuff. I'll start with the bad. The bad, Henry Cavill. Again, he's boring, uninteresting. He's a depressed Superman. There's a whole montage of him saving people, and he looks so depressed and just unimpressed about what he's doing. And just, yeah, I couldn't stand Henry Cavill in this film. Also, Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg is the shittiest Lex Luthor ever. I can't believe the end credits of Justice League was a better performance. I don't know how they got a good performance out of him, but in Batman v Superman, Jesse Eisenberg is a shitty-ass villain. He gives a dreadful performance. He is awful in this movie. Just awful. Also, Holly Hunter, a waste of a Holly Hunter. Like, she's a great actress. Yeah, Grady's peach. Yeah, it's Grady's peach tea. Yeah, it's so stupid. And Amy Adams, again, a terrible Lois Lane. She does a lot of stupid things in this movie. She grabs the spear, throws it in the water, goes back in the water, drowns in the water, and Superman has to go save her and stuff. Oh my god, just a pointless character, horrible romance. Again, they try to build more on the romance between Superman and Lois. It's just, they have no chemistry with each other. And yeah, she was terrible in this movie. What else? I wish, again, it was dark. It's so dark and dwindling. I wish the cinematography was just much more brighter and vibrant and stuff. Also, they brought in Doomsday. Doomsday looks awful. He looks like a Michael Bay Ninja Turtle mixed with a cave troll from Lord of the Rings. It looks disgusting. It's a horrible CGI monster they have to fight in. It's so convoluted, this movie. This movie has like 8 stories into one film, and it's just a mess. Just an utter mess. What's good? Well, the action. The action in this movie is good. The visuals could have been better, but the action was really cool. The fight sequences and stuff are really cool and pretty badass. Watching Batman kick the shit out of Superman in this movie was probably the funniest thing ever. You will never watch a movie when you see Batman pick up a sink and beat Superman with it. That is probably the funniest fucking thing ever. He picks up a sink and beats Superman with it. That is hilarious. That is so funny. I liked Ben Affleck as Batman was pretty awesome. And yes, do you bleed? He was really good. He was entertaining. He was a good Bruce Wayne, a good Batman. He had the Dark Knight Returns look, and it was good, and I really liked him. I also loved Jeremy Irons as Alfred. He was a really good Alfred. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman was also kick-ass. Hans Zimmer's score was really good as well. And yeah, there was entertaining moments. The scene with Bruce Wayne going into Metropolis, and it's like the tie into Man of Steel and stuff, and he's seeing the destruction of Metropolis, was a great scene. It was a very compelling scene, and you completely understand why Batman hates Superman and why he's terrified of him. Look at all the destruction he did and stuff, and yeah, it was really interesting. There were some very interesting scenes in this film, and as a whole, I still think it can be an entertaining film, and I do understand why people love the film, but it's still a deeply flawed film with way too many issues. That's why it's not a good film. It's not a bad film. It's just an okay film. It's a film that I can actually put on and enjoy for what it is. Like with Suicide Squad, I would never buy the Blu-ray of that. I would never buy the Blu-ray of that movie, but Batman v Superman, I can watch it, even though it's not a good film, I can still watch it and be entertained by it. It has a lot of flaws, but it's fine, I guess, for what it is. Coming number 2 is Justice League. Yes, Justice League, I just reviewed it. I'll leave a link down below to my review. I don't want to talk too much about it because I know some people have not seen it. I do not want to spoil anything about this film. Just go watch it. I saw it a second time in theaters, and like I said in my review, I'm like, this is a very good, very entertaining film, but only time will tell if it's still a good film and a watchable film. And will it lower in quality the more times I watch it? And it did, actually. I watched it a second time in theaters, and it was actually just as entertaining, maybe if not more entertaining, watching it the second time. I think it is a good DCEU film, so good job, DCE. You don't have just one good film, you have 2 good films in your universe. Still not that great. You're 2.5 out of 5. Yes, the 0.5 is Batman v Superman. You're 50% good, so that's still a passing grade, DCEU, so keep up the good work. But yeah, Justice League has a lot of good stuff, has a shitty villain, a really shitty villain, one of the shittiest villains. Well, he's no Enchantress, but a really shitty villain. Steppenwolf is awful. The CGI is very noticeable, but at times it looks good, but then at times it looks pretty bad. The best thing about Justice League is the team. The team, the camaraderie, the way they all work off each other was the heart of the film, and that was the best part of the film. Again, I don't want to talk too much about it. Just go check out my review. I did a whole 9.5-minute review. Check that out and come back to this video and see what I thought of my number 1, which you all know what it is. And my number 1 favorite DCEU film is, woof, what the fuck else do you think it is? It's Wonder Woman. Yes, yes, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is not only a good DC film or a good DCEU film, it is a good film in general. The best thing about Wonder Woman is that anyone could watch it. You don't have to be a comic book fan, you don't have to be a fan of the DC universe or anything. You can just be a fan of movies and enjoy Wonder Woman because it is a well-made movie, it's a well-directed movie, it's a well-acted movie. It's very compelling, it's very funny, it's very action-packed, it flows, the narrative is very flowing, it is very well structuralized. It has great messages, it's great for kids, it's great for teenagers, it's great for adults, it's great for everybody. This is just a great film to watch with the whole family and stuff. My own mother, who hates movies and comic book movies, even fucking like this movie. I don't even know how that's possible, but that just proves that this movie is for everyone. My only flaw with the movie is that the villain at the ending, Ares, is just a big CGI monster and it's not very compelling. What would have been more compelling if Ares wasn't the villain at all? That there was no Ares. Like what Steve Trevor says, maybe there is no God of War. Maybe people are just bad, you just can't stop that. I think that is very brutal, very realistic, and very compelling, and there's sort of like a poetry to that. But they didn't go that route, and I wish they did, because that would have been way better of a direction. I probably would have loved the film even more if they went that direction. But no, they went the comic book direction, and she has to fight the big bad CGI Ares and stuff, which I did not like. That was the only thing I didn't like about this movie. Other than that, this movie's fucking amazing. Gal Gadot is amazing, Chris Pine is amazing, Robin Wright is amazing, what's her name? Connie Nielsen's amazing, everyone's fantastic. Patty Jenkins' direction's amazing, the production, the costumes, the visuals, the action sequences, the no man's land scene is so fucking good. When she comes out of that trench, I did not see a movie character. I saw a true hero. I saw Wonder Woman. I didn't see Gal Gadot. I saw Wonder Woman. And it was amazing. The score is amazing. The sound is amazing. The visuals, the effects, everything about this movie is absolutely fantastic. There's a couple nitpicks here and there, but I think this movie is amazing. This is hands down the best movie the DCEU has ever released. I don't even know if they can beat Wonder Woman. Who knows? Maybe in the future a movie will be better than Wonder Woman. But until then, Wonder Woman is hands down the best DCEU film ever. So yeah, that's my ranking of all the DCEU films from my least favorite to my favorite. So in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this ranking? If not, give me your ranking of all the DCEU films in your opinion from your least favorite to your favorite. Comment below, let me know. And as always for this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.